Have you ever thought why you still cannot speak fluent English? You have probably tried many methods, but nothing has worked. Well, it could be because you're following the wrong techniques for learning. As Albert Einstein said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. You need to change something about your process in order to see results. That's why in this video I have decided to share with you a simple and easy step that anyone can follow, which will make them fluent in English fast. I have met hundreds of English learners in the past 3 years. They all had one thing in common. They all followed the one step I'm about to share with you, which made them fluent. But first, let's talk about the biggest mistake beginners make that stops them from becoming fluent in English. They try to figure out every single step before they actually start speaking. They want to get perfect at grammar, they want to have perfect pronunciation before they actually have a conversation. I think this is a wrong approach to learning. You have to start first. Just have a lot of conversations in English. Don't think about whether you'll make mistakes or not. Don't care about getting perfect at grammar and pronunciation. Just go out there and speak as much as you can. Have a lot of conversations in English. By doing this, your grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation, all of them will improve. People think the opposite. They want to get perfect before they speak. They try to avoid speaking as much as they can because it's scary. But the reality is, speaking a lot and practicing more will get you closer to that perfect level, not the other way around. I have had many people tell me, "Hey Asim, I want to speak English but my grammar is weak and my pronunciation is bad." And I tell them, just practice speaking more and you will get there. But they're like, no, I can't speak. I'm shy, people will laugh and I will make mistakes. Then how are you gonna improve? If you're not willing to be bad at something at first, how are you going to improve? It's like saying that I want to learn how to play the guitar, but my first try of playing it might sound bad. Of course it will be bad because you're just a beginner. Let me tell you something. Your first few conversations in English will be horrible. That's the harsh truth. You're going to make a lot of mistakes in English. But that's fine. It means you still have a lot to learn, improve, and get better at. Let's think of learning English as learning how to drive. Imagine two boys who want to learn how to drive. One boy goes to a driving school. He learns all the traffic rules. You cannot drive at more than 80 kilometers per hour. When the light is red, you have to stop. No parking here. He learns things like that. After 3 months, when the driving course ends and the boy comes out of school, he doesn't know how to drive a car. He surely knows what a brake and an accelerator is, but he doesn't have the skill of driving. And then there is another guy who goes to an open field with his dad. He sits in the driver's seat. His dad explains to him, do this, do that, here is how you overtake, here is how you control the steering wheel. And boom, after a few days of practice, the boy knows how to drive fairly well. How did it happen? The second person learned from his mistakes. He just went for it. He just started it. Instead of sitting in a classroom listening to some teacher explaining and talking about how to drive a car, he took action. He just started driving. He surely made a lot of mistakes. His dad, who was teaching him, probably got mad at him too. But he made mistakes, he got feedback, he learned his lesson, and next time he tried his best not to make the same mistake again. And that's really how we learn things. Let it be English language. You make a lot of mistakes in English at first, and then you try to correct them, and you get better and better each time. You don't really learn English or any other language by sitting in a classroom listening to some teacher explaining noun and pronoun in Hindi language. No, you learn by practice. You learn a new phrase or a new word and then you speak with someone to practice it. That's really the whole process of learning English, and that's exactly the step. Make mistakes and get feedback. The first part of the step is easy. Making mistakes is easy. Just speak English a lot. If you do it enough, for sure you're going to make a lot of mistakes if you're a beginner or intermediate. However, I have met people who've been learning English for 5 years or even more, but they're still not fluent. Their English is still full of mistakes. They practice speaking, but they keep making the same mistakes over and over again. Only making mistakes is not enough. We must learn from our mistakes and improve. If we don't, we end up making the same mistakes again. We get stuck in this loop, like when a rat gets trapped in this circular path. It's trying its best to get out, but it's not going anywhere. It ends up running in this loop and never gets out. We must correct our mistakes so that we don't make them again. The best way to do that is to get feedback from others. Most of the times when we speak English, we don't notice our mistakes, but they're so obvious to others. That's why we must talk with someone who has higher English level than us, whether it's a native speaker or an English learner whose English is fluent. When we talk with them and make mistakes, they will correct us and our speaking will improve. I had quite a few friends like that who would correct me and give me feedback about my English. You also have to find someone like that for yourself. Becoming fluent in English is quite similar to weightlifting in the gym. I don't know if you can see any difference in my physique or not, but I have been working out in the gym for the past 5 months. One thing I've noticed is that when you're new to weightlifting, you don't know what exercises to do, you don't know how to do them. You really need a coach or a mentor who already knows about weightlifting. If you don't have a fitness coach, you will do the exercises incorrectly. You will make mistakes, and the worst part is you're gonna keep making the same mistakes again and again because you're not getting feedback from others. As a result, it will take you years and years to build a good body. But on the other hand, if you have someone who teaches you the correct way of doing workouts, you will improve faster because you're making mistakes, but you're getting feedback from other people about them. And it's the same with English. You gotta make more and more mistakes, meaning have more conversations in English, speak more, practice more, but also correct your mistakes by getting feedback so that you improve. This is the fastest way I know to becoming fluent in English. The truth is, making mistakes and getting feedback is only one part of the process. This step will not help you at all. If you get stuck in a conversation, words don't come to your mind, you don't know what to talk about or what to say. To fix this problem, you have to watch this video in which I explained step by step what to do if your mind goes blank during a conversation. You will learn things like how to stop feeling nervous, how to speak as quick as possible, and how to turn passive vocabulary into active vocabulary. All of these will help you speak English fluently and confidently.